Welcome to lesson 19 of Learn to Manifest. If this is the first video you're finding in this series, I have the link to in the description below to the playlist that will bring you to lesson 1 as we are building on all the previous lessons. If you've been with me so far, you have one more week in your second month of self-concept affirmation work. You should have your self-concept completed, and I want you to keep saying those affirmations. Those are your main affirmations going forward. Now, at this point, I want you to I want to give you an overview of what we're going to be doing and let you decide how you want to do this. This was where, once I had this base belief about myself and I wanted to get more clear on each area of my life, and what everyone that I was listening to was telling you to do is just add more and more time to affirm each area of your life. I wanted to affirm for all of my areas. There were like 7 or 8 of them. I don't even know how many there were. There was a lot of shit I wanted to be focusing on. And I got to the point where I was affirming like 3 hours a day, and it just wasn't sustainable for me. Like I said earlier in the series, I found for me 20 minutes 3 times a day is a good amount. I don't feel like it's a full-time job or a part-time job, or it's very doable in my life to do that much affirming. And that's how much affirming you guys have been doing up until this point, if you've been doing what I've been advising you to do. I think you, at this point, if you wanted to do it a little bit less, you could. This is where you need to do what is best for you. At this point, what I did and what I would go back and tell myself to do is decide if you want to add another 10 minutes and do 3 30-minute sessions 3 times a day, or if the 20 minutes is good for you and I would keep it at 20 minutes. If you're like, no, I want to add another 10 minutes going forward, then I would do 10 minutes of my manifesting affirmations, 10 minutes of my self-concept, and 10 minutes of the one area of my life I want to work on first, which is what we're going to start talking about next week. But just to give you an idea of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and to give you some options on what's going to work best for you. This week, what I want you to think about is if there is anything that you want to upgrade or condense or change about your manifestation affirmations. You have been using those affirmations long enough, like I said, if you've been doing this consistently, that they should feel very natural to you at this point. And this is what I was talking about a couple videos ago, where I'm like, we're starting with a blanket affirmation in our self-concept, and then we're going to build that out. We're going to do the opposite with manifesting. Do you feel comfortable taking those affirmations and turning them into blanket statements? So instead of saying those 4, can you turn it into 1, I'm a master manifester? If that doesn't feel good to you, then you don't have to do that. If you want to leave it the way it is, you can do that. But that is an option that you can do, is take and condense that and just be like, well, I'm a master manifester, so of course all that other stuff is true. The other thing, this is the point where if you want to add affirmations about like time, like everything happens quickly and easily, or within 3 days, or I'm an instant manifester, everything happens instantly. This is where I would add those kind of affirmations into my manifesting section of my belief system about how the world works and who I am. What I did is I have my kind of blanket affirmations about manifesting, and I say them and then go into my self-concept. So my first 10 minutes of affirming is my manifesting stuff and my self-concept. And I do that as one 10-minute block when I affirm. Because like I said, affirming 30 minutes 3 times a day is I don't like it. It starts to feel like too much. 20 minutes is good. I can do that. I can do it consistently. I'm perfectly happy and content with it. Because you guys know now, you should know if you've been doing this, you understand what I mean by repetition and consistency. You have seen that by doing it and committing to it, you've seen how things have changed. Now that things are changing, how do you want to continue forward to keep you in that same mindset? That's why I have not changed that base core self-concept stuff, that I am enough, I am loved, wanted, needed, chosen, and prioritized. I have not stopped saying that stuff to myself, because I find when I stop saying that to myself and I take it and try to blanket affirmation it doesn't click in my brain the same way. If I take and I separate all that out, and even though that is a lot of affirmations to say in 10 minutes, I do it 3 times a day, every day, and I've been doing it for months. My brain knows those affirmations. My brain knows that concept of myself. That is who I am in my brain. This is what I found works best for me. But I know that some of you may not feel that way. Some of you may not want to change them. You need to do what is best for you. I can only speak from my experience and how I did things. And I didn't do things exactly how I'm teaching you to do them. Because remember, this is me taking all of the experience I've had and going back and going, if I could redo it, how would I do it? And this is what I would do. At this point, coming into this last week that we're working on our self-concept, I would reevaluate my affirmations about manifestation and decide if I just want to keep those, if I need to add something else, or if I want to condense them into like 3 main affirmations that take care of everything I need to take care of about manifesting, and then decide, is it going to be its own section that I affirm every day, or is it going to be a part of my self-concept? For me, it's a part of my self-concept, because otherwise I am affirming way too long, and this starts to feel like a job and something that I have to do in order for my life to run. And that is not what you want your life to feel like. You want it to just feel like it's a part of your life. You take some time throughout the day, you have your times to get that repetition in, just to remind yourself how shit is, and you go about your life. As we move forward, we are going to work on one area of your life at a time for a month or more if you feel like you need to. But like I said, we are going to start building out what those blanket affirmations mean to you in each area. And from experience, again, and you guys have seen this, it is the repetition of doing it that gets it in your mind so that you can use those thoughts when you need them throughout your life. If I could go back and redo it, this is how I would do it. Why? Because it seems like 3 to 4 weeks of doing it really gets things to shift in your mind, and you've seen that. If you've been doing it, you have seen that happen. Do it for each area, and I'm going to let you guys pick which area you want to do first, because now you know how to do this. You've seen how it works. You've seen your mindset shift. You've seen how to create affirmations for yourself. You know what you're doing. You really don't need that much more guidance from me. I really don't have a ton more to give you. But moving forward, it is going to be kind of an individual how you want to do it. Like I said a few videos ago, the people who say I manifest with my self-concept alone, this is what they're talking about. If I identify myself as I'm an amazing wife, I'm married, probably have a good relationship, what all comes with that affirmation? All I can do is speak from my experience and tell you guys how I would do things and how I have done things that works for me. If you are unwilling to take a step back and adjust it for how it is can work for you, I can't help you with that. All I can do is give you the tools and the tips and the tricks that I wish I would have had, and that is what this course has been so far. This is how I would go back and do it if I had to start from nothing. So yeah, this week, decide how you want to, if you want to upgrade those affirmations about manifesting, and then decide if you want to keep it as 2 separate affirming sessions or if you want to do it as one affirming session, and then decide what area of your life you want to focus on as your next month area of focus, and keep doing either keep doing what you're doing or change it over, get your manifestation affirmations, and if you want to just go down to 10 minutes this week with them, you can do that, or I'm going to leave that up to you. But just know that if you do change your manifesting affirmations, or even if you keep them the same, when you start saying them all together, it's kind of weird at first, but you guys remember in the beginning, you probably didn't remember what any of these affirmations were, but as you use them, you start to remember them because now you have experience with using consistency and repetition of a new thought to change how you think. Thank you so much for watching. Love and light.